Hello, and welcome to Metabreakers Podcast, episode number 49. Starring your wonderful hosts, we have the illustrious meme master himself, Warshack, in the building right there, in the middle there. Then we have on the right side, everybody's favorite demon hunter, DracoCatt, looking wonderful as always. And speaking of looking wonderful as always, on the left side we have D-Money, back at it again with the podcast. What's up, guys? How's it going?
Going well.
Doing good, man.
It's going well.
That was such a hype self intro. I don't think when most of us do those, we ever get to the point where like, in myself is right here, me. You know?
It's really important to hype up yourself. Like, even when I write down things in my notes section on my phone, like, I'll put like at the end of it, like, P.S. you look beautiful, like, or like, you're amazing, or like something like that.
You write it to
Really?
yourself?
I write it to myself for my future self, for when I look at it, I'm gonna feel so much better, you know? Yeah, you
Oh
gotta
my
hype yourself up.
God. That's insane, dude. I don't know if that's normal. I'm gonna
Probably
be real,
not.
but hey, I like it. Whatever works, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but welcome, guys. We have a meta-breaking day for you. We did leave off last week going over some of the new cards in the core set, and we are going to continue, but after we go into the meta and we talk about something else as well. So yeah, I mean, I guess we could just dive into the meta here. It's pretty much the same. I mean, nothing's really gonna change until we get a change, which is not gonna happen until the new cards.
Which was supposed to happen, but didn't happen. We all
Yes.
want to happen, but didn't happen.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, I'm glad we remembered to talk about that. I think D-Money brought up, he was like, we got to remember to bring up the fact that there's not going to be nerfs. And then we all just kind of had a moment of gloom together where we were like, oh no, this is so sad. Yes. So we have another 2 weeks, it looks like, of the same cards, exact same cards in rotation.
Yeah. So there was this tweet by Alec Dawson, who is one of the important people with Hearthstone. Don't know exactly his role, but he's one of like the devs, and he had previously hinted at a patch coming very soon, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I hinted at it, but like now it's affecting our timeline, so we're actually just gonna not do it, and we're gonna leave it for patch 20.0, which is the big patch with the new expansion and the core set and everything. Yeah, kind of sad.
And this is one of the times where I think we also need to preface that our three unified like feeling of this sucks is actually not the common take on the situation, because the tweet and the situation where the developer announced all of this, everyone else was kind of like, thank you for the transparency. Like, this is great for the tournament, you know? But but that is not great when you want to play with something that's a little bit different, or feel like you want the Hearthstone game to change a little bit. Yeah. So the way I look at it is another 30 plus hours of streaming with the same exact cards, you know, and that is like probably not the best way to view it for my mental health, but at the same time, it's true. So yeah. Fun stuff.
Yeah. It's rough out there. Knowing that we have like so much stuff on the horizon. As we can see here, we have the new expansion. We've got the core set, which is huge. We also have the classic mode, which is coming out. We also have the rotation, which is occurring. So there's just like all of this awesome stuff so close. And we just have what we've had for the past, like, you know, couple months now. And we're at the point I'm building quest paladins. It's tough out here in the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope they do like a trickle thing like they did last year, like kind of like they give us a card early, which they did do that, but that card does not make that much of a difference in the game. It would be nice if they did kind of like, you know how when they announced the priest rework like a couple weeks early, I believe, didn't they do that? They like,
yeah,
the new priest cards came into the game before the rotation did. And I hope they
did.
do something kind of similar like that with maybe the core set. Like that would be fun if we got a 1 week period with the core set and the other expansion cards that are rotating out.
Yeah.
That, like, who knows? Like, that it might mess up a whole bunch of decks, but you know, it's a week. That's fine. You know, it, like, imagine just getting to use all the new cards with what exists. That, like, even if some of the things aren't going to be balanced, at least the discovery process of it will be exciting and change it up for a week and allow us to do something different. But yeah, I hope they do something like that, or even bring classic mode a week early. You know, maybe we could play classic mode for a week and stream classic mode, and that'll be exciting. Something. Give me something. That's all I want. That's it.
Yeah, we do want something. And just to go back to what you're saying about some people actually liking this because of like the tournaments, like the Masters tournament coming up very soon. That is a positive for these people that have been playing and practicing decks, the same decks, so they don't have to change their lineup. They're all good with what they have. They can keep practicing what they have, so that's cool for them. But for the rest of us, like we want it. It's we don't care about you guys. I don't care about you. I'm not in the tournament. All right. I only I want my cards now. And
I mean, it is supposed to be a strategy card game, right? So one would think that shaking up, I mean, 2 weeks is, I think, a good amount of time to kind of build a lineup and have an idea of what you think is good. I don't know. I think stuff like that makes the tournament so much more exciting to watch when everybody is working to figure out what are the good decks after these changes. And the tournament, unfortunately, I think it'll be less exciting, knowing that we're going to be watching the same thing we've been going through the past couple months. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, I mean, I agree with your concept more than the other perspective of it, Warshack, which the other perspective of it is that there are really good competitive players out there that do best in very pronounced metas of one way or another. So they like are really good at playing specific kinds of decks in specific scenarios. So sometimes they're being not a shooken up meta. That's the word I'm looking for. Sometimes they're being something that's stale, makes some people that, you know, practice the ins and outs of decks super intricately play better. And I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, some people are going to play better, like when they've played the same OTK Demon Hunter deck that works like for, you know, 300 hours versus there being like a little bit of a meta shakeup where the amount of weapon removal has to be added back into the game a little bit, which changes the entire consistency of all their like draw on their deck. Or I don't know, you know what I mean? But like, there's ways that it benefits people from it not being new.
Yeah, I mean, you know? Me personally, I feel like I do better. I perform better in tournaments when it has just been like shaken up, when it's like the meta's like not completely figured out. But I definitely understand both sides of the coin, and also like to go back to what you said about people being happy about it because of the transparency, and there are a lot of comments, like there are a lot of positive comments on this tweet saying like, I love how you guys are being transparent, and like I like that too, of course, but like, I mean, that's cool sucks. And all, but like, you know, I'm trying to play the game, you know, and like it's nice that like I do want to hear more stuff like this. I mean, yes, I did retweet it and say ha 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 in all caps, but I'm still happy about the transparency. It's just the game is just it's really rough right now, you know. So it's nice though that they're transparent.
They dangled a carrot in front of you and then pulled it away and then called it transparency.
Yeah. I also think our bias might have made that entire concept of there being a nerf like so much more of a juicy carrot, because it's like all we do is play Hearthstone all the time, all week long. So the amount of excitement that new cards is to us is just, or like the meta changing a little bit is so much more exciting to us that it's, you know, it's probably like a little bit of our bias, like us being so salty.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like 100%. Yeah. The amount that we play Hearthstone is unhealthy. So like when they give us like a piece of information, we just devour it. We're just like, it fills us so high to the top. But a normal player is like, oh, Well, 2 more weeks. That's nothing. I play 5 games a week. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, whatever. Sure. Thanks for letting me know that there'll be an update in 2 weeks. Appreciate the transparency. And over towards us, we're over here starving, foaming from the mouth, just
For like
just
2
waiting
weeks.
for the next juice. 2 weeks, unbelievable. I'm gonna die.
I know. I know, man.
Yeah, very sad
And
stuff.
they even had shown Penflinger on like the picture of like what like they were like when they were talking about the balance changes, they used the Penflinger art, which got me really riled up because y'all know how much I love that fucking card.
Yeah, and it's honestly really interesting too, because like when you talk about nerfing Penflinger, there's like a huge conversation behind it, because it's like it's hard to even think about. You know what I mean? Like how do you nerf that card? It's complicated, you know?
Can only hit minions.
Can only hit minions.
Yeah, that was the proposed change by Zeddy, I believe.
Yep. Problem fixed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably like the only way you could change it.
Libram Paladin would be nerfed into the ground. That is like all I
Yes.
think, like if that was a situation. Like
Yes.
because that's how they win. You know what I mean? Like that is literally the win condition is Penflinger, because it's like Penflinger with the unlimited 0 Librams that keep coming back. So since they can keep doing that, eventually that's how they kill you. So their minions don't get to attack you, you know. But I don't hate the idea of nerfing that deck into the ground. I'm sorry for any Paladin lovers out there, but I think the Libram package has had its time in the sun.
Yeah, that was another one of those decks. You know, we were looking at the new decks for the core set, or the new cards for the core set. I had said last week, like, this is one of those things that, like, it looks like it's gonna be fun, and then if it's actually good, it's not gonna be fun. And that's what I said about Libram Paladin as well. I was like, this does like look really cool, and like it's a really cool concept. But like then I started playing it, and it was like so like you're going like I was playing against like a control priest with it, and like it was just so boring and it's so long, and I'm like, oh man, please don't be a thing. And like I didn't even know about the Penflingers at that point. So I mean, yeah. It's one of those things, man. But we should probably get into the top 1K meta. We do have a lot of cards to go over for the core set.
We didn't even know we wanted to show
we
you
do.
guys this, you know, because the deck that's the best performing deck in the game is kind of something that makes you want to bomb a bit. This is the best deck performing in top 1K legend over all regions. Resurrect Priest.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody's favorite deck is back. Congratulations to Res Priest. Yeah, it does make sense to me. The deck has been doing very well in tournaments recently. It does just have a lot of good matchups. It's just like a overall like strong deck. Like if they get silence is such a hard thing to come across now in the game. So like having a full board of Bone Wraiths or Kartoots and stuff like that, like it's a lot to deal with. I could see this being just good. Like it's just like good across the board.
The best thing at dealing with that is like another priest deck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think
Good.
the reason that Res Priest is up there so high is because of the 3 decks below it that are all, I believe, fairly weak to it, right?
I think Secret Rogue is actually up higher, probably because it's probably the deck that's equipped to Bastille with it, because it runs the stun us.
That's
you
true.
know? Like,
Yes.
the Secret Rogue
That's the only
has
card.
Yeah, you can shadow step them, so technically you can like make it so they can't play minions. Like, you know, like I feel like Secret Rogue would be like the best counter to Res Priest. Like
I've actually heard that World Kick is good against it. I don't know about better, but like you do this, like I'm sure it's still a tough matchup, but I don't know, like World Kick does have a lot of time to get whatever they want online pretty much, or at least a little time, I guess, at the beginning. And usually the Resurrect Priest doesn't run Shadow Word Deaths, so if you get a big questing adventurer to stick, and then if they put down like a convincing, then you just put a lot of small guys on the side, then I feel like that's a way to win, and probably happens more than you think. I don't know.
Wouldn't the Rogues then be higher than the Res Priest? If the Res Priest didn't beat Rogue consistently, it wouldn't be above them, right?
Well, that's not the truth entirely, because those decks are also getting a whole bunch of those percentage points off of how they cream out other decks, like Libram Paladin, which is right under there in tier 2 as well, you know? So like Res Priest might beat Libram Paladin more than Secret Rogue, World Kick, and Stealth Rogue.
Yeah, and Token Druid here, stuff like that, yeah.
Things like, so that becomes part of the equation as well. Like we can't just fare like how good they are against one another based on how far up on the tier they are, because they're also playing against all these ones.
Well, I just figured with the amount of Rogue, like having like 3 Rogue decks all below that Priest deck, and it coming out of nowhere, and the popularity of Rogue being so high, you'd think that Priest is positioned well right now because it can beat that half of the meta that is Rogue. Anyway, that was just what I was, looking at
I think that's
whether
fair.
or not that's true or not, I don't know. I was just trying to,
Can't be that bad against Rogue, right? Like, it's
I
gotta
was
be
just trying to
doing pretty
drive
well.
some, just drive some assumptions based off what we see here.
Yeah, so everybody's favorite deck back at the top. You love to see it. Thanks, Blizzard. Good patch. And I guess we're gonna go on to the core set here.
The fun stuff.
Yeah.
Now we get to do the stuff we're excited about. We got past that.
Very much so.
We're in the home stretch, boys.
So yes, we left off at Shaman last time in the podcast. So we got Shaman here.
Do you think the Alakir buff matters?
Yeah,
3/6.
a little bit.
I mean, it's one of those things that like there's a lot of cards that got buffed a little bit, like Earth Elemental being the Overload is now 2 instead of 3. The Feral Spirits now Overload 1 instead of 2. I feel like it's a lot of small things that maybe one of them alone just doesn't do too much, but all together it does. I feel like these are like good changes, and like they will impact things. I mean, Alakir, like it's always been a pretty good card, and it just makes it better for high rolls as well. But I don't know if it'll be playable still, but yeah.
Because if there's a Control Shaman deck, you used to sometimes run Alakir and Control Shaman as being like kind of like a final burst thing. And then that new Ysera gives you automatic Nightmare now. So like Nightmare is the one that makes it so it gets the +5 or +4/4 buff with the Wind Fury. So that turns into like a 14 damage burst or something. So basically you can just bring Alakir and Ysera in your Control Shaman deck and just use it as a finisher. And then the health line on that makes it, versatile enough that you can use it to trade in some shit if you have to as well. Which, I don't know. I wonder if that matters. You know what I mean? But
it's a slow combo.
Yeah.
It's a slow combo,
Yeah.
but
I'm thinking Alakir Rockbiter would be a little bit probably
easier,
quicker. Yeah. Plus you have Jade Blossom, so you could go like Blossom Rockbiter again, so you get 2 Rockbiters on Alakir.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's too crazy.
I mean, it's just it still just looks like a good card. It's always been a good card, I feel. Just of course with like everything in the meta being better, like just getting stronger with like the power creep these past few sets. It does make sense that they should have buffed all these cards, these old cards, because now they actually have a chance to compete. Still don't know if Alakir's on that level, but totally could be. I mean, we have a lot of changes to overload cards, like I said before, Earth Elemental, only 2 overload instead of 3, Feral Spirits now 1 instead of 2, Lightning Storm now 3 damage all across the board, which we had talked about.
That's a big
bit.
deal.
Yeah,
that's big.
Yeah, it's helpful.
Yeah, we had talked about it in the past. Yeah, Warshack, if you want to take that.
Yeah, you can't have an AoE card that does anywhere between 2 to 3 damage, and you're playing obviously Lightning Storm in the earlier game. It's an earlier removal, right? So the minion health is going to be between 2 and 3, and the fact that you just have to roll the dice to determine whether or not you get to kill your opposing minion, like it's just, I mean, we're talking about a 33% damage difference based on what skill? No. So the fact that it like AoE, in my opinion, needs to be a clear cut thing. And we've seen that with stuff like Flame Strike and Blizzard and Twisting Nether. It does what it does, and it's built into a field clear, and it's you either can play around it or not, but what it does is it's consistent. This is like just how it works. And Lightning Storm was the only AoE in the game, I think currently, that had some sort of random generator on the AoE. Granted, Yogbox could be an AoE, but that's not like printed on the card. Lightning Storm was like the only, like, maybe it does a lot, maybe it doesn't.
Maybe I lose the game, or maybe I have a shot, you know?
Yeah, but because when it whiffed with the overload, it was so punishing that like it's almost like not worth playing, because like the whiff potential costs you games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 mana to do 2 damage is feels bad.
Yeah. Over 2 turns. Yeah. It's
we have let's see what else we got here. New card for Shaman, Novice Zapper. I think this card's really good. Spell damage +1, overload 1. It's a 1 mana 3/2. I mean, and that's in the core set. Wow.
I mean, you would just play this in any Shaman, right? Like, regardless if it's control or not, you would just play this almost, I think, in any Shaman deck, right? Just
it makes a lot of things possible with like breakpoints with spells. Like you're on turn 4 and you have Lightning Storm and Novice Zapper. You just got like a Flame Strike. You know,
that's true.
Yeah.
On turn 4.
I mean, you are paying the overload cost of a Flame Strike, essentially, kind of.
Yeah, but that's powerful. You know, like you could make that happen for 4 mana in a turn. You know, like just by playing those 2 cards together. And that doesn't even have to be what your deck is built around. That can just, you can do a lot of stuff, and that could just be one of the things you have. A 4 mana Flame Strike when you need it. Also developing a 3/2.
He also makes First Day of School stronger.
Yes, there's a lot of cards making
That's
First Day of
true.
School
I mean, you don't really want to overload sometimes though, so maybe. But
I mean, it's just the 1-drop pool. Like any card that makes a 1-drop or creates a card, like giving those classes spell damage for 1 mana it could be very good. Yeah.
Are you guys surprised Lightning Bolt stayed? Because I was surprised it stayed with that new legendary we saw teased for Shaman, the 4 mana 5/4 +3 spell damage for nature. So you have 2 Lightning Bolts. It's like they do what, 6 damage each? So that's a 12 damage burst for 6
for 2 mana.
Yeah, because the card's 4.
That's a little ridiculous, eh?
That's pretty ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, Brucon. That's the guy.
Brucon. Yeah, I didn't think Lightning Bolt was gonna stay in the game because they were printing spell damage +3 for lightning shit. And no, that's gonna stay. So you want to clear a 6 health minion for 1 mana? That card allows you to do it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of a lot of Shaman archetypes. I'm not gonna lie. Like Totem Shaman, not like, it's cool, I guess, but like not my thing. I don't like Smork decks a lot. So like a deck that goes all in all the time, like Totem Shaman or Burst Shaman. Shaman always comes back to just like burst decks. You know, it's like you have Doomhammer Rockbiter. This combination's been alive forever. And like you have Lightning Bolts, so you just chuck at your opponent's face with like Lava Burst. I think Lava Burst is actually gone now. But
doesn't matter. You can do more damage with Lightning Bolts. Fan.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just always comes back to burst damage to your opponent's face. That's like the main archetype for Shaman always, and it's not fun to me. I know a lot of people love it, but I'm kind of sad to see it keep going in that same direction.
We're seeing a lot of that.
So in WoW, that's kind of how that archetype plays out in WoW, to be honest. If you're playing Enhancement Shaman, you're a 1-pump chump. Like you just throw up like huge burst damage, and then you're fucking. Like that's what you do in PvP. You Storm Strike, and you crit with the with your Wind Fury procs, and you just like completely you'll 1-shot most classes if like your stuff procs. And in Hearthstone, it feels like the same way. Like you just have these like 1 to 2 turns where you just explode, and then after that you just like either have no cards in hand or you have nothing left on the board, and you're just kind of like sitting there.
I think design
most of the time
style
you
is
can
on
kill your
point.
opponent.
Yeah.
Yes.
like-
So if you're looking at what
Sure.
it does in World of Warcraft to like what it does, I'm not saying that's a healthy thing. I'm just saying that I
sense.
think there is some inspiration there for sure, with how the deck feels. Because I main Shaman for a long time in WoW, all the different specs, and it Hearthstone makes it feel very similar.
Fire Elemental got a buff too, and like
That's true.
it does 4 damage now. That might be even more justifiably bringable in a deck.
Yeah, it makes menacing better. I always enjoyed menacing Nimbus. He's just a nice little homie. So adding a random elemental to your hand now, with Alakir getting buffed, with Fire Ellie getting buffed, it's not as terrible. Unbound though, untouched. Unbound is untouched.
Yeah, that's kind of
Very
surprising. Like
Yeah.
at least make it a 2/5 or something. Like it's just garbage. I don't know.
Hey, don't talk about that guy that way. He
I
works
love
hard,
this
okay?
card. I used to love this card, and I've always wanted him to be good. Cause like
I'd play him.
I would like a mid-range overload kind of deck. I like overload decks, but not when they're just like all face decks. And like you just can't play this guy. It's not good.
Also, hint, if you ever do play Unbound Elemental, that new guidance card that overloads doesn't proc his overload. I did not know that. I thought it would have.
Oh,
Yeah, so when you selectively choose both cards to overload, he will not go +1/+1. I learned it the hard way.
You know what I'm a little bit scared about, boys? I'm a little bit scared about other classes getting elementals printed in the next year that are fucking insane with Shaman, because they brought Menacing Nimbus back. So like if they print like a priest elemental that's like they give all of spell damage +5 or something, or I don't know, anything crazy that's like a legendary that does something nasty with Shaman stuff, like Shaman gets access to it because Menacing Nimbus gives you an elemental from any class. So
Yeah.
crazy thing we
Probably
got to
mage,
think about
right?
for the next year. That RNG.
yeah.
Yeah.
When it was in the game, I always got Calamos off of it, and that was always
Hell yeah.
the
Yep.
shit.
That was
You
a
know,
fun
you'd
card.
be like, yeah, you're always like, oh yeah, I'll take another one of these. I don't know how I'm gonna use it, but it's gonna be sweet. But yeah,
Yeah, and then you had Servant of Calamos. It's so crazy if you look at like the old elemental shaman decks and the power level of like what that brung. And like Calamos was like some of the most powerful legendaries that we could have at that time. And now that card probably wouldn't even see play.
well, he's like a little bit more of expensive Kronks. So I mean, they're very similar, right? Like Calamos' effect and Kronks' effects were very similar. Like where you get to choose all those things. Some of it's AoE. I think the Kronks effects are actually better though, right?
Yes. Yeah, and he actually does something like the Calamos had the requirement of playing an elemental the turn before. So if you didn't play an elemental the turn before, he was useless. Kronks, you can play and like
Whenever.
if you have Galakrond, he just has his effect. And if he doesn't, he gets you the card that gives him the effect that wins you the game. So Kronks, there's like no downside almost at all.
Well, the downside is you have to have drawn and played Galakrond, and if you don't, he tutors Galakrond. So it's like hard to compare because one of them does require a 7 mana investment. The other one does all, and you could say it's easier to meet the Calamos effect because you could just play like a Firefly or something the turn before, and then it turns it on, you know, which is 1 mana out of your turn. But at the same time, you're right though. Like once you play Galakrond, like there's no condition that needs to be met to just play Kronks and do something better for cheaper.
Well, you know what
Interesting.
turns me on? Warlock. These new
Yeah?
Warlock cards
Alright.
here. Yeah.
They're kind of nuts, dude.
Lord
I don't know.
Jaraxxus is a hero. Let's go.
Yeah.
Jaraxxus.
I thought this was really good at first.
I think it's a good thing because if you're gonna play like some big demon deck, you have that huge new legendary that they nerfed for no reason that pulls demons out of the deck. And you don't want Jaraxxus getting pulled, and that was always a problem with playing him in a big demon deck. But I would play him if he was like a hero, and he didn't get like pulled from cards pulling big demons out of my hand or my deck. So I think this is actually like a big good buff for him. But I just don't know Are any of his other abilities changed? Like, does he still set you to 15?
No.
Like,
you only gain the 5 armor now.
So you stay at the same health.
oh, cool.
So it's actually like a nerf and a
way
buff,
better.
kind of. It's just a change, and it's just, I think it's kind of sick. He's gonna, I think he's the only hero card that's gonna be in the game, as like unless they release one in the new expansion. Pretty
They're
sure.
definitely going to release
sure they will.
more if they're going to keep heroes in
Maybe.
the core set, you know?
But I don't know.
Well, Control Warlock.
He's still a 9-cost card, right? So that
Yeah.
is the one thing that I got kind of tunnel visioned on, not thinking about when I was like, oh shit, he doesn't make your health 15. That means he's just good. He's just a positive effect. But then I had to remember, like, okay, like, what happens if this gets in my mulligan and I'm playing against a scary deck like Weapon Rogue or something? Like that I'm probably not going to want to be running Jiraxis in that situation. It's probably not going to help.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool. I don't know if it like is going to be meta, but
It is cool that he's getting a new light, though. A new kind of, yeah. It's just, everybody loves Jiraxis, all right. And if you don't, then you haven't played with him enough. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Clicking the hero power and seeing the elemental come flying out of the sky down is a good.
I mean, even just the voice line, you know, it's classic.
you face Jiraxis. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect, Draco. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have some new cards for Warlock as well, like Felsoul Jailer and Ritual of Doom. I think they're pretty cool, or at least the Felsoul Jailer is a cool card to just have in the core set. It's a unique kind of card. Don't know if it's gonna be played, but
Ritual of Doom?
Ritual.
saying?
No, I was saying Felsoul Jailer is like a unique kind of thing. I mean, Ritual of Doom is
Yeah.
kind of unique as well, but I don't think it's that great.
Ritual of Doom is a combo card, you know? And that's something that we're going to have to remember because it destroys a minion for free. And I don't know how that might be used, but in the past, cards that destroy things for free on your side of the board can be used in disgusting ways. So it's a 0 mana card that does something that's very important if you have some specific cards. So I don't know.
We know Warshack loves his 0 mana cards, so
No.
Like in Wild, this makes Mechathune like way better in Warlock, which is kind of crazy to think about, right? Like you don't have to run Cataclysm really, and I mean that gets rid of your whole hand, but like you can just kind of use this now to just get rid of like a singular minion when you have nothing else left, and there's no condition, just dead.
that's true. We also have Siphon Soul being 5 mana, which is actually, that's pretty big change, I think. And Flame Imp dealing 3 damage to your hero instead of 2 damage.
Oh.
Yeah. So, some good, some bad. I mean, Zoo has been very powerful recently, so it's nice to see a little nerf to that card, because that card's been around forever. It's been a staple in Zoolock for as long as the game has existed, so it's nice to see that.
Also, Drain Soul, I think, is a pretty the most Warlock card you can get. And didn't it used to do 2 damage? Lifesteal 2, not 3.
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like a penance. It
is literally penance.
Yeah.
Except it's shadow, not holy.
Yeah. Drain Soul's not.
Honestly, it's way better with Moarg, and that's still going to be in the game, and that's like something that Warlock loves. So I imagine Drain Soul getting that buff will probably be substantial, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting me excited. Like Siphon Soul, Drain Soul, getting me excited for like a control Warlock. That's like been one of my favorite archetypes, I guess, like handlock kind of control Warlock. So getting very excited with stuff like that, because I mean, healing up is a big That's something that Warlock needs, because they're always hurting themselves, but they need something to keep them alive. So very nice to see that.
I think they did a really good job of making the Warlock core cards like equally zoo and control.
Yeah.
You know, like you can critique a lot of things that they're keeping at the core set, but they kept like both of those elements of the game in, where it's like good statted cards, you know, that are swarming cards, and then there's also just like actual hard removal and AoE and healing. Like it's got a variety of different things that you can push this all in, which is nice.
Yeah. Two complete opposite ends of the spectrum, right? Zoo is a very fast early game deck, and then you also have like cards like Draxus and Twisting Nether, which are very late game cards. So it's a good spread Warlock has right now. Good.
Yep. Now on to Warrior. Oh, unless you had something else.
Did you want to take a look at Enslaved Fellord? Do we have anything to say about that guy?
That card's nuts,
Warlock
dude.
chunk.
That thing is crazy. 7 mana, 4/10. Taunt. With cleave.
Yeah, I mean, you do have the 3 mana guy that does buff a demon. It gives it +3 attack and lifesteal. So that actually is an insane amount of lifesteal for a cleave there. Yeah.
Yeah, how much is that? That's 21, right?
Yeah.
That's 21.
Kind of crazy.
Oh my
actually.
gosh.
That's a crazy combo. I mean, this thing is like hard to play because it still has no immediate board impact. But then again, Broom.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't do the 3 mana guy as well in the same turn. It would be 11 mana.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Let's just say like they had foresight on this situation. If that was like a 10 mana combo, that would be so
that would be very strong.
Horrible.
Yeah.
That'd be the most tilting thing ever. Like your opponent plays this Broom and then the 3 mana 3/4, give it lifesteal, heal for 21. You would be like, no. Yeah, that would be awful. Thank God.
Yeah, chat is saying Willow, another big demon for Willow, and that's true.
It's true.
Yep.
That's true.
And it has taunt, which is one of the problems that if you're using a turn to summon minions and none of the minions have any like thing that they can do, like whether it be like an end of the turn effect or like obviously battle cries can't trigger, taunt is going to be like your only other thing that you can have to just not die. You know what I mean?
That is
so this guy
immediate board
having
impact.
taunt.
You're right. My bad on that. Taunt is immediate board impact. Rewind that phrase.
Well, I know what you meant. Yeah. Rush would obviously be better most of the time, but taunt gives this guy a lot. Like if he didn't have taunt, this guy would probably not see, I don't want to say any play, but because he has taunt and you can play these guys out free with Willow, and hopefully we'll see some other cool demon synergy. I think this guy is like, well, I hope his effect also is like a cool cleave. Like I'll doubt that will like give him a cool animation, but it'd be pretty cool if he like that scythe came out and like slayed all 3 minions. You know what I'm talking about? Like some Reaper shit.
So cool. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I hope I bet he has cool sound effects and stuff too. Usually they put like a lot of awesome stuff into these huge big boy cards they put out. Tom Berry brought up a good point. That free admission card reduces the cost of it too.
So then you could do the Broom combo.
Oh my God. You can do the Broom combo. Maybe you just make like a fully demon like zoo centric deck that has like these things on the top end of it and brooms and stuff, like a very minion centric deck, and that kind of stuff could work because Warlock has like the best hero power because you can just keep drawing. And free admission is insane.
Broom Warlock.
Yeah, so the only minions you run that aren't demons are brooms, and then you can do those crazy combos with the Enslaved Fellord where you heal for 21.
I can't wait for the clips. All right, next is Warrior. Got some Warrior love here. Gromosh. That is changed, I believe, right? I'm trying to. Really trying.
What got changed?
Is it changed?
I don't think it changed.
It didn't change. Okay.
It doesn't have Enrage on it.
Okay. Gromosh is the same. Okay. I don't know. Just this +6.
He's the same, but the text is different.
It's just his stat line is just very weird, and the +6 attack. It's just it looks like it's different, but it's the same. Shield Maiden coming back. That's one of my favorite cards.
I
in
love
Warrior.
that card.
Yeah, that's a really good control card, and that's.
Do you think she would still see play now? Like,
yes.
I don't know. Yeah, you do.
It depends what we get, because when she was back in the day, when she was out and she got played, there wasn't the stat line of minions and stuff that we have now. So like as of now, she looks underwhelming, but if there's like armor support cards or minion cards that work well with armor, she'll definitely 100% see play. But D-Money, you mentioned you really love her. What's your input?
Yeah, I mean, I think that she's like just about good enough right now. And like you said, like if we do get some armor support or just like control warrior becomes a thing again, like a standard control warrior kind of deck, then like that's an auto include, and like that's just like it's a great card. Overall great card. One of my favorites.
Her armor set is so cool. That's BC. In that BC armor set comes off of like Gruul. It's like tier 4.5. I don't know. The armor set she has is fucking sick. Plus she has the cool shield, like the bulwark shield ish.
You know what card actually looks good? The Bloodsail Deckhand. Yeah, that card, it banks reduction.
That card's very strong. Yeah, that's gonna be. I mean, we've seen like an aggressive kind of. I mean, in the past, of course, we've seen Pirate Warrior be a thing, but we are losing some pirates. I think we're losing South Sea Deckhand, which is a big deal. And like it's just gonna be a good card in like a fast kind of warrior deck that kind of exists right now, but it's like it's not good enough. But this honestly could make it good enough. I'm not sure what weapons they're gonna be getting in the new expansion.
Pretty cool with Reaper Scythe, like right, like you can play it on 3. Like play this on 1 hero power Reaper Scythe. Boom. Like that's not bad. Like,
is that rotating Reaper Scythe?
Nope.
Oh,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, just a really strong card, and it has a pirate tag too. So.
Yeah, I think we'll actually see some pretty cool weapons, hopefully, for Reforged and the Barons, because there is a lot of flavor, and the Barons is just, how could you not use weapons to defend yourself against like all these beasts and stuff?
Yeah,
I'm hoping we see a lot of cool weapons. Yeah,
there's definitely going to be an epic weapon that is like does something where it like adds some kind of cheap thing to your hand or something. You know, like that is always what they give Warrior, like these little epic weapons that develop value of some sort.
Super Collider.
Yeah, or what was the Lackey one? Livewire Lance, something like that. You know? Like,
that one's less exciting, but yeah,
it was used. Yeah, it's all play.
It still does.
I honestly would like to see a big weapon similar to Frostmourne in the past, where each minion you kill with it adds to it, and then when it breaks, it summons all the minions. I would really like to see something for Warrior for value. So like even if it's like a 6 to 8 mana weapon, have it death rattle, resummon all minions killed by this, and that would be pretty exciting for me.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but we do also have War Cash. That's a new card, and that looks like a really nice control warrior card. Just a lot of value that comes to your hand. Like those cards can actually be a lot of value.
This looks like a 2 mana card to me.
Exactly.
It seems this reminds me of Thoughtsteal a lot, and it still reminds me of like the Hunter card. There's like a Hunter card exactly like this.
The whatever it is.
Yeah. The
Hunter's
Hunter's Pack.
That was 3 mana.
And that's 3 mana too, and that sees no play. It's just too slow. It's a great card. Every time you play it, it feels great. Like the cards you get are good, but it's just so slow.
Yeah,
it's
you
just
have
so slow.
Pay all that mana and do nothing.
I mean, yes, but like that, it's Warrior is just a whole different. The class itself, like Hunter cannot afford to sacrifice tempo like that, but Warrior might be able to.
True.
So I mean, I'm kind of hopeful for it. Maybe a one-of card, if anything. But I mean, it's kind of cool just to have like available to you. You know, if you want to like reach into your
if Warrior
to your bag of weapons.
Yeah. The flavor of the card is definitely great. Like War Cash, like yes, that's the
like that's like
there.
A shop in Stormwind right there. Or something. Yeah.
But if warrior gets any sort of like spell generation, like a 3-mana 3/3 battle cry, discover like a warrior spell or anything that does that, war cache becomes a lot better. But to main deck this, I don't know. We'll have to see where warrior lands.
You know what's not rotating? Corsair cache. I just wanted to make sure that that was staying in the game. So that Bloodsail deckhand into Corsair cache is literally possible with whatever weapon you want, which is kind of terrifying. It's just going to be like the ultimate like warrior curve out. Extra durability weapon too. Crazy, man.
Yeah. I see her being played more aggro pirate deck though, for like an Arcanite on 4 or something. I don't really see her played in control.
Yeah.
Definitely some sort of faster weapon deck.
Yeah, just a really good card. Just really good 1-mana card. I mean, Blizzard has been printing a lot of good 1-mana cards every single expansion now, and just they just keep getting better.
Surprised she's not a 1/3.
Yeah. Makes your Libram of Judgment cheaper in Paladin when you get her off the first day of school.
God.
That's true.
So she gives benefit on that too. Just to remind you.
Oh God.
All right, we do have to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, last one. I was gonna talk about Fiery War Axe. They didn't touch this card. I would have liked to see them put like some sort of like Death Rattle, gain 3 armor. Just something. Just put something on this. It just feels so bad because it used to be 2 mana, and that was great, and now it's trash. That is all.
Yeah.
Do you think War Song's good?
Not with Broom out.
Yeah, Broom is just way better, right?
Well, this effect never leaves.
That's true. It does make it like it does kind of give it like a soft taunt.
Yeah, like if you play this, every minion you play after it for every turn, whether you have a Broom or not, continues to get rush. And they have that Playmaker card, right? Which gives everything reborn, or what does it do? Makes a copy of something that gets.
It makes a copy with 1 health remaining of a rush minion that you play. Yeah.
So if you play this and then Playmaker, every single card you make, this sounds like some kind of like horrible OTK combo.
Stop it.
I mean, you're at 6 already though. You're at 6 mana with just those 2.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Let's hope they don't give Warrior like cost reduction. There's like crazy stuff that could happen.
That's what enables OTKs.
Yeah, ETC could get better if they do something crazy, but let's just hope that they don't. We do have to move along. I do have my qualifier tournament starting very, very soon. But I'm able to, I mean, I might get a bye the first round. We'll see in like 30 seconds. But I'll still be able to wait like 9 minutes before I ready up. So we have a little time here, but just want to go a little quicker here. Last card for Warriors, just this War Song Outrider. It seems like a good card, but
seems okay.
All right, we have the neutrals here.
Baron, that's a big one.
Baron Rivendare, yeah. So Baron Rivendare wasn't really played too much in the past, right? But it's just like a scary card to see in the core set, like going into this whole new year of like printing cards, because it's just like they might come out with something crazy for this. There might be some crazy combos here.
I think
it's got Tonk Hunter. Like there's just it's definitely not a super competitive card, but like it getting randomly generated or just like living on the board. I mean, 7 health for 4 mana is a ton. So
it's a cool card though. I'm just still a little scared to see what they come out with there, but yeah, we have quite a few cards staying here that we've already had here, like Dalnos, Brightwing, Mukla, White Mane.
We got Overlord, Runethak. He's a new one.
New cards here.
I think he's probably just going to be played because hand buff is awesome. Like, I know I'm going to run it in decks with Felsteel Executioner, like, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, yes, sir. Like, I will run this in Demon Hunter decks and do fun stuff with making giant weapons with it.
Well, when you play this, though, wouldn't it corrupt your thing into the weapon and then it wouldn't give the stats to it?
You just make sure you draw after.
Okay. Seems like a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But I mean, the card does just seem good. I mean,
It is pretty cool.
There's gonna be like you have to decide like how many minions you need in your hand for this to actually be like good, and I would say probably like 2 or 3.
Oh my god. Hysteria with this before the nerf onto it?
Yeah.
Could have been
I'm
really
glad they
good,
nerfed
yes.
Yes. All right. There's already, that's one thing that definitely would have been just like this and Hysteria, and then just everything just got +1, +1, +1, +1, +1. Oh my god.
That would be very annoying.
Yeah.
It would be an 8-card combo, and you would be kind of reliant on the board state. But then again, with Wave of Apathy, that would have been very doable for Priest, because they could play Wave of Apathy, throw this out, Hysteria, then it does hit things 6 times, no matter what, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the card still just seems good as it is.
Yeah.
Pretty strong card.
It goes off once, it's not bad.
Yeah.
And it gets to remove something. So
Also,
and again, soft
small
taunt.
note, he's got the Whirlwind Axe, which is a level 40 warrior classic quest, which gave you best in slot weapon for like a long time. Actually, I think you could start it at 30, but you're supposed to do it at 40. Either way, Whirlwind Axe is like an iconic warrior weapon from like the entire middle portion of the game until like late game. So,
well, now I'll
Very
play him. All right. Yeah, we have Talon Fordring. He is this is probably like a combo card. I don't know. It doesn't really seem too great at first glance, but I saw some combo players on Twitter getting excited about it. So
well, dude, I mean, you don't have to be running a combo to like this card. I mean, like, think about like how the Highlander Hunter is built now. You know, like with Polk Helt or something. Like this would just tutor your King Crush or like whatever your finisher is or something like that. Like you could build an aggro deck, throw this in there, and have some kind of crazy like top end card that's in the deck as like a 1-of or something, and you always get it.
Yogg.
Yeah, Yogg, that could be an answer. You know, you there's a lot of new dragons that are in the game. I don't know, man. Like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it could be strong. Also, I mean, you're paying 5 mana for like a 3/3 with Divine Shield Taunt, which is not bad, but I mean, if he gets silenced, you're just losing out on so much. So it is kind of a risk to play in because it is the death rattle. You don't get the immediate effect.
It's annoying though, as like a instant card on the board. Taunt Divine Shield is a pain in the ass, always for most decks to deal with, if they don't have the instant hard removal for it.
Yeah, it's just like a cool, a cool, unique effect. It's not like, it doesn't look like it's like blatantly overpowered or anything. It's just like, all right, like I'm excited for it. Cairn did get a buff. Yes, he is no longer a 4/5, and he's a 5/5 that summons a 5/5 instead of a 4/5 that summons a 4/5. So I mean, Cairn is one of those cards that was like a staple in like control kind of decks, especially Control Warrior back in the day. And I loved the card back then, just like Shield Maiden. I love it. I love that they gave it a little love right now. Probably still isn't that great, but I mean, you got Baron Riven there now, so hey.
Yeah, 7 mana, 7/7. I wish they would have updated the card work, to be honest, on any of the classic cards that they've redone. I would have liked to see Aaron have new artwork. No offense, pretty fucking.
Oh, let's look at the new Nas. That card makes me so fucking pumped. The Bullet Hearthstone card.
It's a big change, big card here.
So this is my idea, boys. You let me know what you think. So I don't think it will matter if people are sniping you if you're playing a game with double Nas in decks, because the time that you have to do your turns is going to be so quick that I don't think like being able to look at your cards will give you that much of an advantage, you know? So I feel like with this card, you can do actual channel point rewards on Twitch to play your viewers, and then you can actually have really good Bullet Hearthstone games because you don't have to tell them they can't watch or something, because you just are playing as 15-second turns for everyone. And it's so fast that it doesn't interrupt like the normal content, because the games will be like 3 minutes long. It's the perfect thing if you're for a Twitch person who wants to have a reward for playing viewers. You can do Bullet Hearthstone and have a bullet deck on lock.
That's a good idea.
And then just play people while they watch you. It's great.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say that they can't really snipe you, like I'm sure that information is still going to be useful. I mean, but yeah, that's a really good thought for like a channel point reward. And like just like I mean, the main
it
thing
depends on which deck you play. Like if you do a control bullet deck, then it does matter. But if you play an aggressive one, it doesn't.
I mean, sure. Warshack.
I would have liked to see them stack this or stat this card more competitively, to be honest. Like, make it like a 7-mana 10/10. Like, why not? It gives you a reason to put it into your deck. For like, if you're playing a control deck, would you not play like a 7-mana 10/10 dragon? I don't know. I just feel like if you stat it slightly more competitively.
Do you know what you're getting into though? Because whenever no, because if you randomly evolve into a 7-drop or like transform something into a 7-drop and then you get a 10/10, like it's a little too good and like you're not gonna like it. No,
right now there's 4-mana 8/8s. And you're gonna complain about a 7-mana 10/10? There's an 8-mana 12/12.
I'm kind of on Rob's side on this one, honestly.
I like your point. I would make it a 9/9 personally, I think. But
give it +1/1 in stats. So edgy, DmoneyGames.
No. I'm just saying. I'm doing the Blizzard nerf on your idea there, and 9/9.
Okay, then make it an 8-mana 12/12, just like Deathwing. Then just make it statted competitively, but the effects still be bad, so it still has a downside. You know what I mean? There's still a downside to playing this card, but at least it doesn't. Like right now, the card just sucks. The card is bad, so it won't get played. But if you stat a card competitively and it has a cool effect, you'll get those meme games where, I'll play this in my Highlander whatever control deck. And if it happens, you know what I mean? I just happen to have a good on-curve play. And then the best case, we get a YouTube material. Because the opposing player might be memeing with it too. But if you have like a really niche effect that isn't that great, and you also have a poorly statted minion, you're gonna get a card that sees no play. So while they tried to make this card really cool, they actually killed it in the process.
I think it's exciting to think about bullet tournaments and like structures of playing. Like I want to make tournaments where everyone has to put this card in all the decks, because some decks aren't going to work correctly in this context. Like you can't play Lee Broom Paladin like with Nas Dormu, because like you'll get to the turn where you have all the Librams and all of the pen flingers, and you can't do that in 15 seconds. It's literally impossible. So you can't play decks like, maybe you can't play OTK Demon Hunter. That's not going to work either. You know, like you can't make those decisions correctly in that amount of time. And there's a lot of decks that you could just not play a bullet style. So I think it'll be really fun when everyone starts building decks to play in 15-second turns to beat other people's normal decks that they play to beat people in 15-second turns. So have its like own little meta. It'd be great.
Sounds like a bunch of face decks.
Yes, but yeah, or a deck that just destroys the face deck so fast that there's nothing like there's gonna be control bullet decks too, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I think
to counter the people doing that.
I think like that's like the whole use of this card is for like those kind of tournaments, and I think those tournaments would be freaking awesome, and I would want to enter them. Like I want to hold tournaments like that. But I mean, I also don't want to hold them because I want to enter them myself, because I think that is like an amazing concept. And like everybody's been wanting something like this. Like people have been wanting like a mode that was like this for a long time. And like that's probably not going to happen, but this is like the closest thing we have. And being able to make tournaments with this card where everybody has to use this card. I don't know. I think it's amazing. I'm very excited about it. And I'm still gonna try it
like that.
I'm still gonna try it the first day and like put it in my deck to try to have some 15-second long turn games. I doubt it's gonna work out, but I'm loving the meme. I really like it. I do have only like 2 minutes here before I have to.
All right, we can wrap up then.
Yeah, I mean, I think we went over. Did we go over the dragons last time? Maybe
we went over a lot of the dragons that already came out, but not the ones that were done extra. Like one thing I always wanted to point out about this card, the Onyxia, is it does the Shuma effect, but it's on the Gruul context. So if your opponent's like, I watch other people review this card and all of them miss this, where it's like it does it on your opponent's turn too.
Yeah, that's true.
Where it's like, so if they clear shit at the end of the turn, it fills up before it becomes your turn again. And like vice versa. Like if you clear stuff on your turn, it'll fill up at the end of the turn.
Yeah, it makes it really actually like pretty damn good. Yeah.
If you don't mind your board being full,
Sure.
every single turn, because it also makes you unable to play minions.
Yeah, so there are quite a few cards that we didn't get to go over. A lot of commons, a lot of rares as well. If you guys want the link, I'll put it in the chat right now to all the cards in the core set. I do have a qualifier tournament to get into in just a couple minutes, so we're gonna wrap up. We usually do a Q&A section at the end of the podcast, but don't have too much time right now. I am sorry, but yeah, still had a good time with you guys. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you.
Shout out to the sunglasses that got free advertisement during the podcast this time because D-Money's ad blocker wasn't on.
LoveZenny.com. I actually do have it on.
Nice sunglasses. There you go. Boom. Men's rectangular prescription glasses. They look stylish. Wow.
Highly recommend. I actually am trying to get a sponsorship with the. I probably shouldn't even say it. All right. We are.
Why pay him? He's doing it for free.
Yes, exactly. I always promote your glasses on stream, so now pay me to do it, please. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Exactly. Thanks for having me. I shouted out the hosts, our co-hosts in chat, Warshack and DracoCatt. Please check them out, guys. They're awesome, good friends of mine as well. We're actually me and Warshack are going to DracoCatt's wedding this year, and it's going to be very exciting. So, yeah, just to give you an idea of the friends that we are, very cool.
No big deal.
All right, good luck in your tournament, man. Slay it. Have a good day, chat. Enjoy D-Money, and lovely podcast as always, gentlemen. Thanks for having me.
I had a great time. Thanks for having me. Also, good luck, D-Money. Peace.
See you guys. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.